Wonderful time with Swamiji today. Radhe Radhe Swamiji, I thought I saw Swamiji join.
Yes, he did join.
Can we pin Swamiji? I mean, I'm not able.
Yes, yes.
Radhe Radhe Swamiji. Very warm good morning to you, Swamiji.
Well, thank you. Good day to you and to all the participants in your program. It's a delight to be with all the Bhagavad Gita enthusiasts.
Yes, Swamiji, it's our great pleasure and an extreme fortune to have you on our program today. Sincere gratitude, because I know you have a very busy schedule and you were able to make out time. And we have a wonderful group, going on for the past 100+ days, and they are all eagerly waiting to talk to you, interact with you, and everybody have put on their cameras on as well. So without much ado,
Wow.
over to you, Swamiji.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to express my appreciation to all of you for being participants in this daily wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita, which is being offered by the Center for Indian Culture and Education. Now, the Bhagavad Gita, there is no doubt about it, over the last 45 years of my study of the Vedic scriptures, that the Bhagavad Gita encapsulates the whole knowledge in 700 verses. And it is the starting point, as you all know, the Prasthantraya, the 3 entry points to Vedic knowledge. And one of those, the most important and accessible to us, is the Bhagavad Gita. In the Gita, Lord Krishna has analyzed our human existence from a very philosophic perspective. So he talks about the Gyan aspect, the Karma aspect, and the Bhakti aspect. There are these 3 aspects of God. Gyan, Bal, Kriya, because God is Sat, Chit, and Anand. The nature of Sat is Karma. The nature of Chit is Gyan. The nature of Anand is Bhakti. So in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a clear distinction in the first 6 chapters. He's talking about karma. Then the next 6 chapters, he's talking about bhakti. And the next 6 chapters, he's talking about gyan. So it's a very fascinating and philosophic, darshanik way of analyzing and looking at our human life. It is the handbook for living, the manual for life. So the more this knowledge sinks in us, and the more our intellect becomes convinced about it, this is it, then it is natural that our karma will be properly intended. The intention will change. It's not for my sake, it is for his sake. So the karma will become properly situated. And bhakti will also grow. Because when you know that you are a part of God, you have to love him. When you know his opulences, his grandeur, his magnificence, you have to revere him. When you know that it is attaching your mind to him which will purify the mind, you have to engage in devotion. So all those aspects get their pushti, their nourishment through the study of the Bhagavad Gita. Now, of course, it's not merely a theoretical study. That becomes then like the Tota Ratat, the parrot. One parrot trainer taught his parrot, "Oh, parrot, don't sit on the hunter's net, otherwise he will trap you and take you away and you will die." So the parrot learned how to say, "Don't sit on the hunter's net or he will trap you and take you away and you will die." The trainer thought, my parrot is now competent to fend for itself, and he released it. The parrot went here, it went there, it went into the forest, and there it saw the hunter's net. It sat on the hunter's net and was saying, "Oh, parrot, don't sit on the hunter's net or he will trap you and take you away and you will die." And that is exactly what happened. So the knowledge has to be implemented. And that is where this program is making such a big difference. It's taking the wisdom and seeing how you can make that wisdom a part of your life and live according to it. So there'll be nothing more pleasing to Lord Krishna than seeing his tiny souls, all you wonderful devotees, actually paying heed to his message and striving to follow his path. I am sure it is attracting the divine grace, and I offer my prayers that you all may find the knowledge ambrosia and the bhakti nectar through this exercise as you aspire. I had said to Nitin that rather than make it a lecture, we should keep it interactive. So with those few words, I'll pass it over to him.
Thank you, Swamiji, and thank you so much for giving us this platform where we get this extreme fortune, we can say, to read this wonderful scripture, and for all the guidance and inspiration that you provide us. In my excitement, Swamiji, I forgot to welcome you, but I would still do that, okay? Because I put in a little bit of thought to welcome you because we are doing it virtually. So I thought I'll still do that and then continue with our discussion. So welcome from the entire Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita family. They are all very, very, very excited to talk to you.
Thank you very much, Nitin. My pleasure to be with all of you.
Yes, so with that said, do we have anybody who wants to ask anything in particular to Swamiji or want to share their experience of going through this wonderful scripture as we have been doing for the past 100 days? I can see Stephanie ji, Sudhir ji, quite a few hands raised already. So do we have our moderator? Yes, Stephanie ji, let's get started.
Stephanie ji, if you will unmute, please.
Radhe, Swamiji. Can you hear me?
Stephanie. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for all the things that you do and everything that you provide. It's so amazing. I wanted to know, well, we're on this battlefield like Krishna in this time of COVID. What is it that pleases you the most as you talk to devotees and see everything that's going on both within the organization and the world? I've heard some of the things you've said in the last few days about courage and boundaries and just some really very powerful things. But what is the big message that we need to be paying attention to please you?
Well, Stephanie, like I had said in an earlier such talk, that suffering is built into the design of the world. We tend to forget, but history reminds us that we have been through world wars, we have been through all kinds of conflicts, famines, etc. So, this is probably the biggest one in our lifetime, but it is not unexpected.
Mhm. Right.
Despite all this suffering, people don't get the message. They still remain attached. They still make their goal as worldly attainments. So these serve as course corrections. If somebody is willing to receive the message, it is the Sankhya Darshan tells us kutrapi kopi sukhi tatapi dukkha shabalamiti dukkha pakshe nikshipante vivechaka. Look, human beings, nobody is happy. So let that be the launching pad for your quest. Why am I unhappy? Why is there misery? And this will bring you to the absolute truth that truly this unhappiness is coming because of the material energy and all its orchestrations. But I am under the grip of the material energy because I have my back to God. So the message here is suffering comes, happiness comes. The most important thing is to turn around towards Him, to surrender to Him. That is what God wants to teach us always. And that is the message in the present circumstances as well. I'll keep my answers short because I see a lot of questions coming up.
Thank you.
Yes, for the sake of time, we have like Swamiji for 30 minutes. Let's keep our questions short and we'll try to cover as many as possible today. So thank you, everybody.
Dr. Sudhirji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Swamiji. It's
Radhe Radhe.
so blessed to get connected with you in the short time again. It has been a wonderful journey which I'm going through the Bhagavad Gita daily sessions. I started learning slowly, memorizing them, and it has been a beautiful journey. The interactions what Nitinji brings up and the participants do, it's very good. I think that is the essence of the practical aspects of applying Bhagavad Gita in the day-to-day life. So I had a lot of questions, but most of my questions get answered through you, through the videos. I had a major question that how is this, the Guru will come and help us when you have a right faith and intention to in the right direction of spiritual pathway. And because given the situation, it's very impossible to have one-to-one interactions all the time. But I think the faith and the process and the journey which we undertake, I think the answers are coming indirectly through your videos or through the knowledge or the books. I feel this is the right pathway. But only thing I have a small doubt. Say whenever I'm deviating, how does again I feel the faith is the one which will help me to put me back in the right pathway. Is that right, Swamiji?
Yes, yes. So, Sudhir, it's good that you're trying to memorize because that is how the knowledge sticks with us. At the beginning of my journey, the verses that I memorized in the Bhagavad Gita, they always just stayed there. So it's a good policy to adopt. Now, you are right that the interaction with the Guru is not always accessible. However, the spiritual government works in a way far different from the material government. The physical interaction may not be there, but the Guru is connected with God. He's a representative of God. And God is sitting in your heart. So your surrender, your devotion is noted in the divine realm. And the reciprocation happens either directly through the Guru or with the help of God. So in spirituality, we never need to doubt that do God and Guru know my thoughts or not? Well, God is right within. You take one step, they take 60 steps. So the grace will keep on showering. And one experience that you're getting, this enthusiasm, etc., is an indication that the grace is coming. Your interest in pursuing it. Now, of course, let us say that you are going off or you are going on the right path. So there will be sometimes some indications. The first indication is you will be unhappy. When our devotion is not going right, we feel unhappy. And when the devotion is going right, we feel good about it. Yeah, that inner fulfillment that I was looking for. Even a single day when you sit in meditation and you bring the right thoughts to yourself, you don't need to ask anyone. Your feeling tells you, yeah. It's just like when you hit in cricket the ball for four. Your feeling tells you don't have to look where the ball is going. You know it's going to cross the boundary because you hit it with timing in the proper place. So similarly, your own experience will give you proof of it. Apart from that is the knowledge. That is why the knowledge is useful. This knowledge that you are reading, this is giving you the theory. Now you always do the practical in alignment with the theory. And if there's confusion, the teacher is there, the guru. Now you say that access is less, but let me tell you, this online situation has made it more. Shankaracharya had access to his guru. Just he went all the way up to Badrikashram to meet Vedvyas once. And Madhavacharya did the same. He just went once to meet Vedvyas and then started preaching. And here we have so many avenues. You just keep hearing the lectures again and again. You get these online platforms for discussion. So the important thing is whatever grace you have got, there's always something you have not got. Use what you have got is the best policy. And that will attract even more grace. Thank you, Sudhir.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Joan Ji, please go ahead.
Good evening. Radhe Radhe Swamiji and devotees all. Swamiji, I feel as if God has answered my prayers when He brought you and your teachings into my life. I've been following your teachings via various programs and through your lectures and various programs offered through JKO and CICE for a number of years now, for the past 2 years to be specific. I feel truly fortunate that I've had this opportunity for spiritual growth through your teachings and hope that I'll be able to continue on this path and to realize my true potential. My question is, I have several, but I'm going to pick the one that is really on my mind. Within the path of Sanatana Dharma, a devotee may worship the Supreme Being, Lord Krishna, in his energetic form, and Radharani in his energy form, in various Murti forms. How does a devotee acknowledge the presence of God in various forms and then yet again surrender only to one aspect, example Sri Krishna, Radharani, of the supreme entity? Example, a devotee may have various forms of God, such as Sri Ram, Sri Krishna, Lord Shiva, Durga, etc., in their home. So how should one then pray to all and yet again surrender to Sri Krishna only at the same time?
All right, Joan, first of all, I am delighted that you have found in this knowledge something that is working for you and what you feel you were looking for. Now, the question you have asked, these different forms of God, as you know very well, are not different gods.
Mhm.
They are different aspects of the one God. It's like a person has one personality in the office, another personality at home, and a third personality in the playfield. Now that gentleman's wife doesn't become confused that I married one person, how come I've got three husbands? She knows they are three swarupas of my one husband. Similarly, the devotee may go into any temple and he says, oh, my Lord here is in the mood of a king. My Lord here is in this mood. So the distinction does not happen. If you surrender to one form, you have surrendered to all forms. However, the point is, surrender requires attaching the mind or bhakti, devotion. That devotion is more easily done to one form. If you try and love 5 forms, you end up loving none. There's a saying in Hindi, ek sadhe, sab sadhe, sab jaye. You try and love 5, you will love none. You try and love one, you will develop love for them all. So while we are surrendering to the one Lord whose different forms these are, we are choosing to attach our mind to the Krishna form for various reasons. His form is enchanting. His pastimes are charming. He is God, but he is also just simply yours. You can forget about his majestic aspect and you can connect with him as your beloved, your friend, your child, your master. The whole nectar of devotion becomes sweeter. Knowing this, we choose to worship that one Lord as Krishna. But it does not mean that we have any less love for the others which are non-different from Krishna. I hope that answers your question, Joan.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. Yes, I'm confused because, not confused, but I'm seeking clarity because I have all the murtis in my altar, right? And when I go into my altar, I'm saying I surrender to Lord Krishna, but yet again, because I have all of these murtis, I feel in my heart that I have to acknowledge their presence. I have to offer my flowers to
No
all
harm.
forms.
There is no harm. There is a devotee even offers respects to the most insignificant person on the street. Swadopi sadhyah savanaya kalpate. The Bhagavad Gita says, even to the creatures, what to say of human beings, then what to say of God. So there is absolutely no harm in showing your respect to all the forms. And of course, later on, when your conviction becomes stronger, you will say it is not required. Let me offer all these forms in some temple. Let me simplify my process of bhakti. Today I will say, oh, Hanumanji, oh Lord Ram, all of you reside in my Krishna. And in worshipping Krishna, I will have worshipped all of you. But we can postpone that for later on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shyamji, please go ahead. Shyam Arora.
Radhe Swamiji, Radhe Radhe Din Bhai, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
I am so grateful. I can't even express my words. Sorry.
Shyam Arora and Palin Arora.
He's my son.
Sorry?
I'm not going to speak, Swamiji.
Okay. Where are you
Maybe,
speaking from? Where are
Delhi,
you speaking
India.
from?
Delhi, India.
Delhi.
Delhi,
I see. Yeah. Okay.
I do not know what to say. Maybe after a while I'll speak, Swamiji. Next turn.
You know, I was supposed to come to Delhi in the month of in April end, and then it got postponed, and now everybody said that no, Swamiji, there's no satsang possible in Delhi.
Yes,
So
Swamiji.
otherwise, every year I come to Delhi and do 15 days of satsang there.
Okay, now, whenever you come, Swamiji, I'll make sure I'm there. I just wanted to
Yes.
thank JK and you because I joined this group unknowingly. I did not know I had a chance to meet you so early, so soon. So just a matter of
Uh-huh.
coincidence that I joined this group through I guess WhatsApp or through
Yeah.
Facebook. And the day one I have joined, I am just mesmerized by everybody around us. And today is a special day for me. I'm meeting you in person, not virtually. I don't see as a screen between us. It's just you and me, Swamiji. And I'm so
Yes.
overwhelmed. And I just got everything what I wanted. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank
Very
you so much.
nice, very nice, wonderful. Uh, that is very nicely put. Of course, it is natural for people to give the credit to Swamiji, but we must acknowledge, from my side, I would like to acknowledge that all the hard work our volunteers are putting in. Nitin is taking these classes so sincerely. I'm sure he has to put in time on a daily basis, apart from taking care of his job and his family, etc.
Yes, Swamiji.
And the team at CICE, who is coordinating and administering. And when we have a quality class, then you can discuss topics in more depth. So because we have sincere participants, that is why he is able to go into the depths and to bring out these gems of wisdom for everyone.
Swamiji,
So
you speak so softly, so nicely. It's so mesmerizing to hear you always. And one more thing I just want to share. The day,
yes.
one full week we were doing on soul in the Bhagavad Gita. Soul is eternal, soul is immortal. And I do not know what happened during that period of time. I lost my father. So such a
Mhm.
coincidence that being aware
Yes.
also, you were
So this knowledge helped you in that time. This it is sometimes look at the ways of God. If you did not have this knowledge, you may have found great difficulty in managing the situation. So God arranged the satsang for you at a time when
yes,
he knew that you would really need it. Right? So that itself is an astonishing turn of events and grace of God.
yeah, that's how I think I'm so blessed to be around such people, be around you, Swamiji. I'm so blessed. Thank you,
Good,
Swamiji.
good.
Thank you so
So,
much.
so
For sake of
Arora ji, do continue. We will give everybody else as well a chance.
Yes, Swamiji.
So,
Thank you,
my
Swamiji.
best
Radhe Radhe,
wishes to
Swamiji.
you. Radhi, Radhi.
Swamiji, you have
Thanks so
time?
much.
Just want to respect your time. Maybe.
Yes. So, Nitin, we can have it for another, let's say, 8, 9 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Swamiji, for the bonus time.
Tanya ji, go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Swamiji, it is such a blessing to see you again. Every time we see you, it's such a blessing. Thank you. I had a lot to say, but I'll just keep my question very short. I
Sure.
wanted to ask you, I know in your lectures you talk about, Maharaji's lecture also, he talks about bhukti and mukti. That
Yes.
bhukti, anger and greed, no point. But why not mukti if mukti is the same as merging in moksha or merging in God? Why should a devotee not long for the goal?
Why should a devotee not long for mukti?
Ji Swamiji.
Okay. Okay. So, Tanya, first of all, very happy to interact with you over this Bhagavad Gita platform. Radhe Radhe to you. Uh, the desire for mukti, analyze it like this, that one person desires worldly things and approaches God, give me wealth, give me a job, give me health. So we say it is a selfish desire, right? That is called bhukti. desire to enjoy the world. Now, the other person feels the miseries of the world and comes to the conclusion the world is a miserable place and I need liberation from here. So he or she says, oh God, give me, just liberate me, free me from this bondage. That is the desire for mukti. So the motivation there again is self-happiness. I want my happiness and I'm not getting it here, so I need liberation. Right? So when we talk about divine love, it has to go even beyond that. That is why the desire for mukti is considered a spiritual desire. It's not a bad desire. But the Rasik saints who are teaching you divine love, they will say, no, even that is not allowed, because then your heart will remain selfish. And the primary important point in divine love is to develop selflessness. I'm not loving you, God, for my sake. I'm going to love you for your sake. So you need to get rid of that desire as well. Radhe Radhe.
Sneha ji, could you go ahead?
Yes, thank you. Radhe Radhe, Swamiji, I'm so happy to talk to you today. And I cannot believe today that I'm really talking to you. You are the one who's got me out of depression. I cannot believe how much motivation I have after listening to your morning gems. And every time I listen to your YouTube videos throughout the day, I have so much motivation after that to complete all my work and also meditate. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Thank you. I found my guru in you. So thank you so much. My question to you is 5 years ago, my dad passed away and I was here in abroad and my father was in India. And I feel guilty every time because I was on the flight when he actually passed away. I was trying to get to him. So every time I meditate, I always remember him and tears come in my eyes. And always it's just I'm in a very depressed mode after that. So I want to find out, how do I get out of this and how do I pay for this sin that I've done because I wasn't able to be with him in his last moments.
All right, Neha. First of all, my best wishes to you. Very, very happy to connect with you on this online platform and to know that you are enthusiastically pursuing the path. The emotions that are arising in you, do know they are not unique to you. They are very common around the globe. Whenever a near and dear one passes away, the bereavement goes through these stages. The first stage is disbelief. It cannot be. The second stage is a state of guilt. Oh my God, I did not do this. Somebody thinks I did not take this, my dear one, to that hospital. I did not do this treatment. So they kind of feel guilt that it was something wrong with them. And then sometimes it goes into negativity. Why did God do this? And finally, when the healing takes place, there is acceptance. So there is absolutely no reason to blame yourself. You are saying that you are on a flight. Now, first of all, nobody knows who is going to pass away at what time. The father is unwell. The child has flown all the way from USA. And then you don't know how long the father will remain unwell. So after some time, the child's leave is over and the child has to go back to USA. These are the realities of life. So nobody knows when anybody is going to pass away. Had you known, definitely you would have arranged for it. And it was not in your hands. So get rid of the guilt. Second point, feeling guilty, it will not help the situation in any way. any thought that we keep should be beneficial. Now, let us say that we commit a sin and we start thinking, oh my God, I've sinned, I'm so fallen, I can never do bhakti. This will pull us down from the path. Instead, we think, okay, now this time I need to do better. I need to make up for it. I need to become the way God wants me to become. That is the way to repent for the sins in bhakti. So there is no need to feel guilty, but if you are, then make up for it by becoming the ideal devotee. Your goal should be to get out of this bereavement and to learn to accept what has happened.
Thank you, Swamiji. Quick time check for you. Last question, probably, or?
Yes, we will make this the last question.
All right. Thank you.
Nitinji, please go ahead.
Namaskar, Swamiji. I'm so lucky that I could connect to you live. I am just saying I'm very, very thankful to you for everything that you're doing. All questions are answered. I have no question. You please stay in the heart of everyone. So as you rightly said, Shankaracharya ji have met his guru once. I am so lucky that I could see you. That's it. You please stay in the heart of everybody. And you are answering all questions. So there is no question left. We are so blessed that you have you. शत शत प्रणाम गुरुजी आपको बहुत बहुत प्रणाम बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Okay, Nitin, you have not switched on your camera.
Okay.
Nevertheless, well, firstly, the personality who lives in the heart of everyone is God. But if you say, well, may my love live in everyone's heart, definitely that is a very noble thought. And well, you are very right. The knowledge is being shared. We are already receiving it in different ways. Questions are not a necessity because there is no end to them. Nevertheless, as aspirants who are on this path, it is natural that questions will arise. So the option is always available. When I first came to Kripalji Maharaj, I used to ask so many questions. Everybody around would say, this boy, he takes up all the time in questions. And Maharajji would also be so patient. He would make me sit and keep answering my questions for an hour. And this would go on for days. And then one day, suddenly all the questions disappeared. I realized that no, now it's just a question of doing it. So that option is always there, but it's not a necessity. So thank you, Nitin, for being so very kind on me. No questions, but actually this is my duty, my privilege, and a pleasure to be able to address the doubts you may have. Now, with those words, I would like to once again say that what you are doing is most mangalmay, most auspicious. I'm reminded of the words of Ramanujacharya, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam, or maybe it was some other Vaishnavacharya, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. One Shastra, the words of Devaki Nandan, Vasudev Shri Krishna, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, one Ishdev, Lord Krishna, Eko Mantras Tasya Nama Niyani, one mantra is divine name, Karma Pyekam Tasya Devasya Seva, and one karma, service to Lord Krishna. So let's focus on that first part, the Shastra, the Bhagavad Gita, the essence of it all. So do keep on pursuing your partaking of that knowledge and its implementation through this wonderfully designed program on which our JKO volunteers led by Nitin are working and offering for you all.
Thank you, Swamiji. I wanted to say you 3 words. Thank you, more thank you, and most thank you for everything that you do for us. And really don't have words to express my gratitude. So thank you from all our team, and it's always so good to hear you.
Radhe Radhe and Namaste to all of you.
Radhe Radhe. All right. I hope you can take some deep breaths. I need a few.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So I know quite a few people did not get an opportunity. If you have some questions, please do send it across, and I'll see to get some responses from Swamiji. It's our great fortune he was able to make it today. In fact, when I reached out to him, I wasn't sure if I'm doing the right thing. He said, "Sure, I'll do that." But then restricted to this group because he did not want everybody to come and say, "Swamiji, we need you as well." Okay, so that's why I had to keep it a low-key affair. But I'm so glad he was able to come meet each one of you in person, and it's a different vibe altogether, even though it's virtual. So thank you. I don't want to bore you now because it's like once you have tasted something sweet, you don't want to taste something any less than that. But since we have about 15 minutes, is there anything you wanted to discuss? I wanted to show you something, but again, leave it up to the group if you want to go into some of the stuff or just want to have a casual interaction around, maybe mull over some of the things that Swamiji spoke about.
Champaji has her hand raised, so maybe.
Yes, Champaji.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you very much, Nitinji, for inviting Swamiji. When he comes and speaks, sort of you feel so light, after you listen to him. It's a different feeling altogether.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you for all your sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. Since we have everybody today on camera, I think if somebody can take a gallery view picture, that will be really nice. I think last time we did it was when we were trying to create some kind of a marketing video for our program, but it's so nice to see all of you putting faces to names. So maybe somebody can do that honors. That will be really nice. But yeah, my favorite today was Swamiji towards the end talking about the questions part of it. And he used to have so many questions, but there comes a point in time where somehow or other those knots get resolved, and it's all about what do I need to do now. So 50% of the battle gets won, where the questions, you do not have any more questions, and it'll happen. It happens, and then it's all about what do we do from here on. It's just the self-effort part. I love that part which Swamiji told, and it's always when he tells his experiences and some of his interactions with Maharajji, they are wonderful, wonderful stories. So if you ever get a chance to make it to one of his retreats, either in India or here, he's going to be here in US shortly. Do try to make it out. We do get a lot of informal time with him to ask him questions, to be with him. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity there.
Okay.
Yes.
Lily Chawla. Lily ji, please.
Yes, Lily ji, good to see you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I came in late. I didn't know Swamiji was coming today. I should have come early. Honestly, I'll be very honest. I'm not regular on these sessions with Gita, but I wanted to know, can you tell me what are the days you have this Gita class, and are you in the middle of this text, and then are you going to restart? How is this program goes on?
Okay, so we do have it, since the session name is Daily Wisdom, we have it daily, Monday to Friday, US time, Tuesday to Saturday, IST time, 9 p.m. CST and 7:30 a.m. IST. We started around Jan 1st, so we just completed our 100 days. It's a daily session, and we are currently in chapter 2, but we are just barely started getting into the deeper philosophy part of it. Having said that, it's never too late to join these sessions, because some of the core concepts, we keep on revisiting those concepts, and we will keep on rehashing those, and it's never too late. So it's not like it's already a lot of time has already been spent, because we are started with chapter 2 and we are midway through our chapter 2, and the deep core philosophy is yet to come. It's barely started right now. So yeah,
So
just
this is at night times, right? You start like around what? Eastern time? What time is the Eastern time?
okay. Eastern time, I think it's going to be 10 Eastern, because it's 9 Central.
Oh, so 10 at night. Okay, 10 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
And we do have it every day, and we have a wonderful group. If you look
Yeah,
at
well, I see that.
participants and their some of the discussions that we have, it's pretty amazing, and we build on each other's experience and each other's knowledge. It's a wonderful, wonderful group. So I look at these sessions, this is probably one of the best thing that has happened to me. Initially, I was a little skeptical. How will I manage it with job and all? But these sessions are really refreshing for me.
No,
And
I think
somehow,
you're doing a great job. I'm very impressed. And especially with Swamiji being online, it was just beautiful, wonderful to have him on.
Swamiji
Does-
was definitely very kind to bless us. But yeah, it's all the group, I would get credit to, who have made these sessions really, really wonderful ones to look forward to. So it would be privileged to have you on these sessions as well. So
Thank you, Nitinji. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you.
Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Preeti
Do we
ji.
have anybody new here as well who is joining in for the first time?
Can I go ahead, Nitinji?
Sorry, I could barely hear you. Preeti ji, was it Preeti ji?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, Preeti ji. Please go
Radhe
ahead.
Radhe, Radhe, Nitinji, Chandanaji, and everyone. The cherry on the cake was today having Swamiji online. Each day the cake has been delicious. Thanks for that. More than 100 days. Congrats. Hope to have the cake every day, every morning. A wonderful breakfast you serve us all. Having said that, Nitinji, I had a question, but I had no courage to ask it to Swamiji because I felt it would be too juvenile. But this being a close group and, sometimes exposing yourself leads a pathway to, more knowledge. I had this question from Long. Who must have made the portrait, the first portrait of all the gods? I mean, all the gods are so beautiful, and one portrait of Lord Krishna does not much differ from the portrait of the other one. So, how did these portraits got made? Lord Ram's, Goddess Saraswati, Lakshmi ji. That's it. I mean, the list is long, but you got the question, so I'll stop here.
Yeah, so the saints who get the darshan of God, who are able to see God, they try to depict it in the best possible manner that they possibly can. So if you go to the scriptures, no other scripture has a vivid description of God. Shantakaram, Bhujangadaram. He has like 4 arms. He's holding this. So the saints who have the darshan of God are actually able to articulate it. I mean, you cannot really depict God, right? But the material words or material depictions, as best as they can, they try to do that. So it's actually coming in from people who've actually seen God. And then rest of the people, once you have seen a picture, you can have a lot of photocopies around it as well. But people who have seen God, they can actually start depicting it, and then people start putting some form to it based on their imagination. But the real God, we can only see once we get his darshan, right? And so, but that is how it typically goes.
Thank you, Nitinji.
In fact,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in fact, I would recommend one of the books I read recently. I think I told that to Stephanie ji as well. Journey Back Home from Radhanath Swami. Yes, and Radhanath Swami, Swamiji has actually worked with him. They used to be very close friends, and they met in Puri not too long ago. And Radhanath Swami, he used to be in ISKCON during those days. He told Swamiji, there was not even a day when I did not think about you. And Swamiji said, yes, it's the same with me as well. Now, when he came to India, it's a very fascinating story. He just got a picture of a blue boy, and he had no clue about Sanatan Dharam, Hinduism, all the gods, demigods. And for some reason, he felt fascinated by that picture, and he kept it in his pocket. And it was long after, when some of his spiritual pursuits started fructifying, was he able to understand who he is, Lord Krishna is. But maybe he had some past sanskars, or Lord Krishna is being Lord Krishna, right? He's pretty naughty around that part. Maybe he had decided that this guy has actually been seeking me for such a long time. So let me now start capturing his mind. So he just got fascinated to that pic in the midst of so many pics that were, lying out there on the floor in Delhi. So that is another thing. But if you get a chance, do read that. It's a spiritual thriller. It's a wonderful, wonderful story, and gives you a lot of courage to proceed on this spiritual path. Some of the things that happen, which you may call coincidence or whatever, but beautiful story.
Thanks a lot, Nitinji. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, PTG. So do we
thank
have
you.
anybody who's joined in for the first time today? Maybe got the word that Swamiji is on air today and would like to introduce themselves or come on air? Sorry, Chandra, you saying something?
Rajendra Prasad, he has his hand up. Are you here for the first time, Rajendra ji? I'm not sure.
You'll have to unmute yourself.
Radhe Radhe Nitinji, this was my first session with Swamiji, starting from Swamiji. I attended Tulsi Ramayan also for first time, and with that Bhagavad Gita session also starting with Swamiji, it's like a blessing for me. I should continue in this journey for a long time.
Please.
Thank you for that.
Please do, please do. It's a wonderful, wonderful time of the day. We all get together and you'll surely love it. So glad to have you over, Rajendra Prasad ji, and we look forward to your continued participation here.
Thank you.
Tanya ji has her hand raised. Would
Yes,
you like to go ahead?
Radhe Radhe, Tanya ji.
Okay, Radhe Radhe, you can hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
So that book, Journey Back Home from Radhanath Swami, is actually a wonderful book, and it's available on YouTube audio version for free. So if anyone wants to read it, it's in multiple parts, and it's a wonderful journey of someone who's not born in the, our Indian culture.
Taniji, I think we lost you.
How he's looking for answers and navigates through various countries and gets to the ship.
Yep. That's wonderful.
Can I say something here, Nitinji?
Yes, please, Chandana ji.
This book, it actually is two parts. The first one is the journey within, and then the second one is journey back home. I had the privilege of meeting Radhanath Swami when he came to promote those books and do a session. And he is also, after the way I feel with Swamiji, the few minutes in his presence, he has the same effect. And Swamiji told this story and about meeting him in Puri, and that Radhanath Swami bowed and said, I have missed you. And Swamiji said he bowed lower and said, I have missed you too.
I had heard this story.
Yeah.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I was telling Swamiji last time, Swamiji, we look forward to reading your autobiography soon as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's simply smiled back. So hopefully in a few years, we'll get to hear his autobiography as well. Some nuggets he gives in some of our informal conversations, but a full documented autobiography would be a hot seller for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I can see Palin as well. Shyamji, your son, he volunteered to help out doing some seva. So kudos to Palin. He's just 13-year-old and he wants to get engaged in some kind of a seva, which is pretty outstanding.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Palin. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would encourage all of you, if you feel inspired, we do have a lot of wonderful seva opportunities available.
Yes, and I was filling the forms every now and then, but I could not see that part any of those time. But he just joined with me for past 2-3 weeks, and the first day he filled the form, he could see that.
Okay.
And immediately came back to me in the evening, ki, Papa, can I do seva? Where is that? How do you know? I have been doing this for the last 3-4 months. I have no clue ki we can do something or that. He said, it's right there. So he said, if you have time, you can do something, please do it. Then the same day, I guess, he'll fill the form, and I guess you emailed him the second day. He was so overwhelmed by that you had highlighted that part that I am 13 years old, and you had forwarded email to, I guess, Kriti ji.
Yes,
so I was so thrilled to see that. See, Papa, I am this, and Nitin ji has mentioned that part to their associates, and I will love to do whatever I can do. And I guess the second or third day was he got the recordings, and I said, it's all yours, not mine. So please, you do it what you want to do it, and don't even tell me ki whatever you have got it. So he has been trying to do something or the other. He was a bit hesitant initially, but he could not understand. But I guess he spoke to Kitiji a couple of times, and then I guess he's doing it something.
Very nice. It's really commendable, Palin. You having that, aspiration to do some seva or contribute. It's really wonderful. And if any one of you feels inspired, this is how I started as well. Getting engaged in seva, and then finally I got this opportunity, to come and do whatever little bit facilitation I can do. So it's a wonderful way to continue on your sadhana. And the benefit of seva is that you can go on for hours. So sadhana, sitting in meditation, can be a little challenging, at least to begin with, but plus you cannot sit for long hours. But with seva, you can just go on for hours. And it is said with seva, you get better benefit from sadhana, because sadhana also, after a while, it becomes selfish. So I had asked this question to Swamiji. He said, if you continue doing sadhana, you will have the sanskars of kubja, because you will be seeking for your own bliss. But if you continue doing seva, you will have the sanskars of gopi, which is much higher, which was kind of a revelation for me, because even sadhana becomes selfish was a kind of a new concept for me. And seva is the most selfless thing you can always do. And if you remember the principle that we had discussed, that we are part and parcels of God and Nitya Das. So our constitutional position is to serve God. And the sooner we build those sanskars in whatever form or manner, I think the more beneficial it will be for our journey of our soul as well. So if you feel inspired, we have so many opportunities. I publish it in our decks also, the daily material that I share. Please do sign up. And we always have a lot of work. Okay, you can even volunteer to work with me. I always have a lot of work. So whatever inspires you, do take a look at that, and do take an opportunity for those sevas as well, because we have a lot of ambitious plans to reach out to a lot of other people as well. So yes, we have 2 more minutes. Anybody else wanted to share anything?
There is a message in the chat window from Meenakshi Narayan. She says, feel blessed to see Swamiji live. Heartfelt gratitude to Nitinji. Thanks to all the participants for asking questions which could clear almost everyone's doubts. So, and there is another, actually a query from Pavitra, India. Please send link for hard copy of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita hard copy in India, probably I would suggest you go to JKO India website, and you should be able to find it there.
Yeah, I'll try to find a link and send it to you as well. I think it's probably available on Amazon now as well now. I'll have to check, but last I heard.
Yeah, I think he wants the Song of God.
Song of God, and recently I heard that it is come out in Hindi as well. We have a Hindi version for it as well. So
then if you can share the link sometime.
Sure, I'll try to find that.
Umaji has her hand raised if there is time.
Yes, Umaji.
Yes, Nitinji. I just wanted to, regarding the Bhagavad Gita, in India, it will be available on rgdham.org. So they can get it from there.
rgdham. Would you be able to type that in, or let me type that?
Yeah, I'll just post the link. Yes, Nitinji, I'll send you the link. Yeah.
Okay, that will be awesome. Thank you so much, Umaji. All right, we are clock on time. So we usually have our quiz on Tuesdays, but it was much better than a quiz, as you all would know. And tomorrow we'll do our quiz, and the Tuesday session, the sharing of your spiritual journey and that inspiration section, we will have it next Tuesday. Shriji, did you have any questions, or you wanted to say something?
Yeah, lots of pranams. I mean, not just me, everyone here is equally blessed. You have given the right opportunity, Nitinji, for opportunity to see Swamiji in this time, right? Like when because of the COVID, I was also equally mentally disturbed. The way the things are happening, all my families got COVID positive, so it's so disturbing. But seeing the presence of Swamiji and his great words, it's you have given us the right opportunity to see him. Thank you a lot.
No, I think it's Swamiji's blessing only. Just had to happen, so it happened. I think we are definitely going through some unprecedented times. It's not easy for sure. A lot of suffering around. So maybe one of the sessions we'll do on fear. How do we tackle fear, or what is the best we can do in this kind of a situation? Because we are vulnerable and we are helpless, all of us, right? And how do we tackle that? So maybe we can plan something around that as well. That might be helpful, and especially the way we build on each other's conversations. So that'll be nice.
Thanks.
Okay, so with that we come to
last one. Can we have Lataji? She has a hand raised.
Sure, Lataji. Radhe Radhe, good to see you, Lataji. Radhe Radhe, Lataji, you there? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Lata?
And somebody who would have taken a picture, please do send it out. Yes, Lataji, Radhe Radhe.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Nitinji. I mean, and Chandanaji. Thank you so much for, bringing Swamiji. It was so wonderful to hear everything, and it was really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you for thanking Lataji. It's also Amiji's grace. He came over. I mean, it just worked out. So I know it was so good to see him. And it has such a calming effect, right? Just hearing him speak about some of the topics that really bother us here.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, we can do our closing prayers then. We didn't do our opening, but we'll directly do closing. We'll short circuit our process today. See, I got so overwhelmed seeing Swamiji that I forgot I have to welcome him as well. And I had created a bit of an audio and flowers and whatnot, but completely went off my mind. So let's do our closing prayers and then we'll meet again tomorrow. Feel free to join our WhatsApp group. It's there in the deck that I sent, and we share some updates from time to time. And trust me, you'll not get overwhelmed because everybody uses it very judiciously. So thank you, everybody. Again, we'll do our closing prayers. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Radhe Radhe. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day and the rest of your evening ahead. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Nitinji. Thank you, Chandanaji. Radhe Radhe, everyone.
Radhe Radhe, everyone.